How much does a body weight affect the knee?
Massive effect, in the sense 1:4 we call it as. Every kg of your weight, when you walk, that means if suppose somebody is to be 60 kilos and if he's 61 kg, when he walks he is putting 4 kg more load on his knee, and when he is running he is almost 6.5 to 7 kg more load on his knee.
He looks quite muscular but need not necessarily be healthy. Is it true?
Absolutely true.
Okay.
Absolutely true. So now you would have heard of the marathon running, okay? Philippides, who ran the first marathon, they say 42 kilometers, and when we have one victory and he falls down and dies. The marathon story.
Okay.
He was a runner. And he was not even 42, 43 years of age. You understood? So, young guy, dying, runner. Running beyond 5 kilometers. No medical benefit.
Okay.
You are killing your heart. Back pain is part of our standing erect. It is a part of our evolution. We will get back pain, and that's why our mobility gets restricted. Now regarding neck pain, I think 150 times opening up that mobile will be one of the commonest reason. Laptop, which work from home. If somebody is allowing somebody to work from home, they should have a workstation at home, not laptop at home. They should be properly ergonomically sitting, look at the correct level screen, then half the neck pains will go away. And if you are in too much of traffic and you are not driving, and you have a neck pain, put a collar and travel, so that this constant jerk which comes with every breakings which are a slow thing do not trouble you much.
Doctor, why do we have joint and knee pain? It's increasing by the day. What is the reason for this? Is it because of age, or is it because of the way we are living these days, our lifestyle?
Knee pain, shoulder pains, and for that matter back pain, and all are increasing, and this is because of 3 factors. Number 1 factor is basically the people and their quality of life. They have an amenity to complaining makes a difference.
Okay.
They can go and check themselves up, and also, today people have money to go and complain about a pain. That is one of the major factors. Now, second and third factors are lifestyle related. Now, whether in 1600 so much pain was there or not, we exactly do not know. But chance is that they also had, because post 40 survival. So for example, India, when we got independence, age of 46 was the average male age, and around 50-52 was the average female age. That's the all it. Today we are at 69 and 72 for male and female. So as the age increases, wear and tear part also increases. Having said these things, I am very sure as a practitioner over last 25 years itself, that the knee pain and shoulder pain has drastically increased in the young ones, which we never used to see earlier. As a shoulder surgeon, I never used to see a 25-year-old person complaining of shoulder pain, but today it is a common complaint. Knee pain has become far more common. So the young ones coming with knee pain as an epidemic is something which government also has to look into, and why it is coming. So many factors involved in that, from lifestyle to schooling. Now, I am afraid about the young generation which is coming up, is because the amount of competition that is there makes the children sit down and study.
Correct.
And schools have become, like my daughter says, as a matchstick schools. They hardly have any ground. So from Kendriya Vidyalaya, where we had acres of areas where you used to play, and sitting inside class was for only studies. All other times you are running around or doing some activities. To today's my kid, physical activity doesn't come because the driver picks them up from the house, drop them in the school, and then back. So these changes, which is reduced physical activity, will damage the joints in long run. The thing is, human body is designed to adapt, and the younger you make the person physically adapt to higher stresses, their longevity of the joints improves. the lesser the physical activity, lesser the throwing of stones, lesser the climbing of trees, and lesser the physical activities, lesser the walking in childhood has its impact as you grow 20 to 40, and post 40 it is always a downhill track, and that has to be understood. And if people don't understand, government as regulation doesn't understand, parents don't understand about physical activity, my son is very much curious, doesn't mean anything. They have to first survive in this world.
True.
Because medical facilities will keep people alive, but whether they are really enjoying their life in long run, it will be only based on their physical health.
Absolutely. Doctor, you said physical activity is reducing, but there are also, sports, those who do physical activity, they suffer from sports injury. And this sports injury, though in childhood it is manageable, but as they grow old, say post 40, it comes to bite them, I believe. Is it true or is it a misnomer?
No, it's absolutely right, because if you look at all those who have even gone into the finals of any Olympics athletics till now, post 50, they may not have a normal knee joint at all.
Okay.
You understood? So wear and tear is a part of human activity. The more you will work on yourself and have been a professional, especially in athletics or games involving a lot of jumping like volleyball, basketball, hockey, chance that you will have a perfectly normal knee when you are 50 years, if you are an athlete of Olympic standards, is very, very less. But that doesn't mean all of them are getting knee replacement at 50, because sports also lead to much better fitness. I am doctor for Indian hockey team. I know the kids there and their injuries, and especially Indian women, the amount of cartilage inside the knee is very less. So they need to be supplemented and strengthened. And if you take a sport, it is just like a risk that you take, isn't it? If you are a superstar, there is a certain glamour in that.
Yes.
And that glamour has its side effects. Every effect will have its side effects. So that's the only thing. That is the overuse part of things.
Okay.
What as a general common doctor, what I should be bothered about, the underused pain people.
Okay.
You understood? So you asked us the overuse. So if I see the Indian hockey, on an average day, 4 hours to 5 hours of intense drilling is there 5 days in a week.
Correct.
Whereas a common man, half an hour activities is not there.
True.
And the pain in an athlete is far easily manageable at 50 than a person who has never moved their body and have a pain at 45.
Okay. So you are trying to say a person who's active can manage his or her health post 40 than those who are completely inactive.
Absolutely. My father was the national volleyball coach. He had cancer lung when he was 79 and he expired when he was 83. And till his last week, he was extremely active. His knee joints had osteoarthritis. His spine had a lot of spondylosis. His shoulder had gone. But then when he could no longer manage a big Doberman, he got with a smaller dog and he used to. And the last week also, the only thing that will help a human being in old age is your muscular fitness and your body weight.
Okay.
You have to strive to see that this is called as the principle of the last decade.
Okay.
Somebody has a chance to cross 40 years of age, then we should start thinking about how our last decade should be and what you want to do. Do you want to, do certain activities, go to all the people who call you for some functions? If your grandchild comes to you, are you ready to hold his hand and walk along with that child? All these things we have to imagine for ourselves to do it. So, not the typical Indian psyche, oh, I am 70, I need not do that. No. So, I think every human, it is embedded in them that till they die, they should be able to at least walk. And if that has to come true, muscles have to be good, body weight has to be appropriate.
So, doctor, you said that a person has to be active. Now, those who are listening to us, say, for example, they are at whatever stage or age of in their life. They are in the 50s or they're in the 40s. They've never exercised. But now through this conversation, they feel enlightened and they feel motivated to exercise. Would that be a good time? Would any time be a good time?
As a sports medicine specialist and surgeon, what I feel is when people are starting 40, they are starting late. Now in India, there is a problem called generic. Anyone can give you an advice and you take it and go ahead. Okay, this was a big problem during COVID times. Now those who never exercised had a lot of time, and they suddenly felt that they are becoming little fat and all these things, and they start doing exercises far more than their capacity. 3 to 4 months, in 1 year we have seen rapid deterioration of all the cartilage in the knee joint.
Oh my God.
And we ended up, and then they stop it totally. So when you are starting your first exercise at 40, der aaye par durust aaye. This is what in Hindi we say. Even if you come late, it is good, but you should know how to do it. See, for example, if we get a 20-year-old child and the parent says, no, I want my child to be fit. You have to know what his capabilities are to start him, from where to start. Just to say, there is something called as, you want to lift a heavy weight. We check what is called 1 RM, 1 rep max. Okay, rep max. What is that weight which you can just do once? Means you start 5, you can do 3-4 times, that is not your rep max. 10 you can do 3-4 times, that's not your rep max. But when it comes to 20 kilo, you are able to struggle and do 1, and that is your rep max.
Okay.
That is under a good strength conditioning coach. You can check each of your muscle areas 1 rep max, and then start at 50% below it.
Okay.
You understood? Then you will chance of getting injuries. No. So as a rule, what we say is, if you want to start something, know where you are, number one. What is your resting heart rate? What is your rep max? We do a mobility analysis. Mobility analysis means some people get a lot of knee problems. So for example, the hospital where I am working, we do a lot of knee replacements. So approximately around 1000 to 1500 knee replacement every year. Why is so many knee replacement happening? The reason is people are not moving correctly. That is the reason. So it's called mobility, called functional mobility screening. We can check them who is going to get a knee replacement 20 years prior to that. Okay. So if somebody analyzes themselves with 1 rep max, functional mobility screening, and their stability, if we know, from there you can build them up by going a little back and at a rule of not more than 5% increase in loading, timing, strength, everything in a month's time. So then you don't get injuries while doing your thing. Whereas if you start at your max and then start increasing, this is a common thing. People are too much into marathon today.
Yes.
And you run 10 kilometers, then suddenly they reach to 20, and then they reach to 40, and these are all happening over a period of less than 6 months time. Almost 30 to 40% get injury. You understood? And 2 marathons may be enough to ever permanently damage certain structures also. But it is quite an addicting thing. So many of them are unable to stop. So we have to operate many of them and all these kind of things. So how much to increase? What is your baseline? So summarizing it is like this. What is the baseline? Where are you? What is your muscle strength? That is the 1 RM. Individual joints you check. Second, what is your mobility pattern? Which joint is not moving? Hip is not moving, knee is not moving correctly, ankle is not moving correctly, or the spine mobility is affected, or the shoulder mobility is affected. Mobility to be analyzed. And then core strength to be analyzed. Once you see all this, you will find deficits in every individual. Those deficits have to be gradually corrected, whereas the strength should be built up upon. So then it becomes a systematic thing. It is a generic, as of now, India, nobody does all these things in general population. But of course, in sportsmen, we use all these techniques so that they don't get as much injury as they should if they are without a strength and conditioning coach. So it's called strength and conditioning. So doctors, strength and conditioning, and physiotherapists combine to form this wellness group.
So, doctor, tell me something. A commoner will not have access to this strengthening group, which you are referring to, 3 SMEs, subject matter experts coming together and guiding a person. So, because people don't have the wherewithal to pay the fees and get their support and advice. But in case somebody has never exercised all this while, but now wants to exercise, what would you advise them to start gradually without getting help or counseling from these 3 subject matter experts?
So, as a rule, if you don't want to go and pay for anything, then improvement also largely will be limited, but it is not that they shouldn't. So, I think if a person with no understanding just hears this podcast and starts with that, he needs to move. Walking is not considered as an exercise. but it is an essential part of survival for cardiovascular fitness. So mobility should be there every hour of your life. Don't keep sitting.
Okay.
So in Bangalore, we know that this is a computer-based situation where every single day I find people who are sitting continuously for 4 to 5 hours and then getting up. And that has to go. Every hour you should get up and walk for at least 5 minutes. 5 minutes every hour. 55 minutes of good productivity, 5 minutes of walking around is a good thing for the tissues. Once this is guaranteed over 8 or 10 hours of working hours, they should spend 30 minutes in gym.
30 minutes
30
in
minutes.
gym.
Gym is a dangerous place. People do anything and everything. If you don't want injuries from your anything and everything which is generic, then see that your time is curtailed at 30. You go there, 30 minutes you do, today upper limb, next day lower limb, next day core, it's all fine. As soon as 30 minutes is over, get out of the place. So 5 minutes every hour, 8 into 5 is 40 minutes of walking you have done already, and 30 minutes of strength training, a little bit of training on what is called as balance and fall prevention. So certain muscles, for example, just activities like you stand on a single leg and take a weight and use it on your upper limb, that will be a good stability training. Stand on a Bosu ball and brush in the morning will be a good stability training. So these are 3 parts of exercise. Just like you say, balanced diet, carbohydrate, protein, everything is there. A balanced exercise should have aerobic activity. Aerobic activity means cycling, swimming, running, walking, all these things. 30 minutes of this a day and 20 minutes of strength training a day, and a little bit of core training. That means 5 minutes of work on your core and 2 minutes of high intensity training, like run a 100 meter. At maximum your capacity is, and that 100 meter should be finished in 30 seconds. If not, stop at 30 seconds. So 30 seconds of high intensity where your heart rate is raised to the peak. This much if you do, that is exercise, and it's less than 1 hour means your chance of getting an overall injury is very less.
Okay, doctor, that sounds quite relieving. But tell me something. What about those who don't have access to gym? So can they buy some weights and do it at home under supervision? Can they refer to some YouTube coach and then get coaching and learn the different angles in which the weight is to be done? Will that help, doctor?
See, I will give a certain secret of shoulder surgery. I'm a shoulder surgeon, and the commonest surgery I do is a rotator cuff repair, the shoulder supraspinatus muscle tear. If we eliminate supraspinatus tear, then shoulder surgery's job is 50% less. And this is a very preventable kind of tear. When our shoulders, for example, you see a lot of people have shoulders like this.
Yes.
These are the ones who will end up in getting the shoulder gone. From school age, you see children, the scapula doesn't move. When you see people, the shoulder is not moving. They are already laying the seeds then, isn't it? And when we do shoulder exercises, for example, there is a exercise which is called as called deltoid flies.
Okay.
This is an exercise designed for us to get surgery cases. You understood?
Okay.
So
this should not be done, doctor?
It absolutely should not be done, especially if a guy doesn't have a shoulder in correct position, and if he does these side flies at 90 degrees and take it with jerk. See, a lot of people have a problem about weights and jerk. That is, you see, like this. This is the most horrific thing somebody can do to anything in human body. If you want to do some weights, stabilize yourself and do it in a rhythm where you are holding and there are no jerks there. The muscles are still working. I don't understand the philosophy of trying to jerk, and so such things are to, for example, a boxer needs to have that kind of thing, power generation. But a general gym goer is going there for not beating someone up, isn't it?
Correct.
So no understanding. So largely I feel uncensored exercises in YouTube. There is no check. What are people feeding themselves upon? We don't know. 90% of the times it is good for doctors like me. We get cases. Okay. And if you are hyper enthusiastic. So if you don't want to meet a doctor, I gave you the tip too. Do your exercises without jerk. Weights at home is very good. Understand how supraspinatus injuries come. Meet one shoulder surgeon and understand what is the exercises which can be done safely. 2 days of effort, it doesn't make, 1,000 rupees consultation shouldn't matter today to keep your health good. And not to follow anyone blindly. There are so much of literature. When you see all the things, you will understand what is truth and what is not. Gym today are in completely filled up with the young guys, 20s to 40s. Where are the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s? Whereas those are the ones which should really fill up, because after 40 only muscle deterioration starts. And the strength training is required at 40 plus. But you hardly see 40s to 50s. Then 50s to 60s becomes lesser, and beyond 60 is almost impossible to see.
Correct.
Those are the ages which should start coming up, and all of them require guidance. I think money should be spent not on treatment of diseases but on prevention of morbidity of old age. And it is must that people should understand strength and conditioning, orthopedic wellness and physios, how they work in combination. And once in a month, so for example, I have a strength and conditioning place called Move and Shine. See, I don't get much time, but I have put that as orthopedic wellness. When we introduce 10 people, 2 or 3 are the only ones who continue. And we have put it like this: you come once in a week, we will train you. Once in a month, we will train you. But even then, 30% is the staying back. 70% don't continue, because, see, as you say, unless you are forced to, nobody comes for any real consultation. Prevention is far better than cure, everyone knows, but it is only theory.
Doctor, you mentioned that, in the gym, mostly youngsters are there. But yet we see many of them suffering from obesity. And they suddenly feel, this is most often than not during the new year and their resolution, and which they not, sometimes they sustain, sometimes they don't. And they go and they take a lot of protein powder, and they decide they want to bulk up. Men, especially women, want to slim and get toned. They most often than not follow fat. And how much of it is scientific, doctor? And is it this bursts of exercise which they do when suddenly either they are coming out of a heartbreak, they suddenly are found more in the gym, or because they want to look good for a particular event, they come for a short time and then discontinue. Such kind of people are increasing. What do you have to tell to them?
Young age is the most beautiful part of life. Okay. Now the problem is taste buds. Okay. So the motivation, as you said, to look good and go there, of course, is there because of this Instagram and all these things. People, want to post a lot of selfies and all. But there's some young children who don't really know about what is the meaning of old age only. They have not understood it because they are not medical people. Okay. So we should just pardon them off. But the thing is simple. Taste too much food. That is one of the reasons when weight increases, people enter into the gym. And do a lot of exercise, burn a lot of calories, and then indulge in food. And that's the dangerous thing. So if somebody gets to understand that body looking good is 80% what you eat and 20% based on how you exercise, then these people will not struggle this much and resolutions need not be broken. Because eating, if it is right, then your body conditioning becomes good. Now this protein thing has almost become so famous. It's basically purely commercial. People don't understand how the system utilizes them. You pass a truthful information, nobody will be bothered about it. But if you put a protein shake and a guy with this level muscle, people do get interested. And children are especially Indians, I hope people understand that Indians are the most sarcopenic race of this world.
Okay.
Sarcopenia means low muscle mass.
Okay.
So even the elephants of India, and if you look at the elephant of Africa, there is a difference. You see the size of it.
Yes.
And why is a African or a Caucasian looking muscular? Because muscles are massive. And Indians have paucity of this. So when we see muscular people, we like them. See, wherever you go, hardly to find a good muscular guy today. You go on any road or any metro or anywhere, you don't see the real muscular people. Whereas if you go to Europe or even Africa, general people are good, strong and powerful. West Africans, you look at them, you feel good. So that feel good of the body with a lot of media presence and all these things are making young ones to go for a lot of weight training, and when they start weight training they understand that this is Indian muscle. They are not improving by doing any standard training. So they require a special training called hypertrophy training. Hypertrophy training is doing one region so much that muscle. So this is Arnold Schwarzenegger started it off. So he will do weights till this muscle is dead, and then 7 days later only. So this muscle is so much fatigued and injured that it has to recover. And during this recovery phase, if you provide a lot of muscle building proteins, it's hypertrophies. So this is today's science. We call this as the science of hypertrophy. So whenever somebody wants to come to a gym scientifically, they have to understand what they are looking into. Are they planning to look at their endurance? Are they looking at power generation, strength generation, different things, hypertrophy? What are they looking at? And then they have to tell that, I want to do this, and accordingly we can guide on that to get them. But protein, as you said, nobody comes to a strength and nobody has heard about strength and conditioning. All this is from YouTube people get, and then they do something wrong and they get an injury. So protein powder, no problem. They can take protein powder. What is the one check that they should do? Get their morning urine sample and see whether there is a protein urea. Because a lot of people lose their kidneys because of excessive protein consumption. Their uric acid goes high. So check kidney function, uric acid, and the urine protein. If they are normal, you take protein, no problem. But if you have any of these issues and you keep taking protein, in 2 years your kidney is done.
So how often it is to be tested, this urine test? Is someone is consuming?
Once in a year, urine protein, urea and kidney function to be checked.
For this is for those people who are consuming protein powder, only for them or everyone?
Those who are consuming protein powder, because Indian food as such is a little low on protein. Why is protein so famous in India today? Is because vegetarianism as a part of Indian thing is a thing, and we are carb eating people, which is again a mistake. Means a lot of carbohydrate, and even if you take a protein, it will be a small piece of fish or a chicken. So as we are a carb less, protein less society, the protein supplementation is what children are looking into. But when high protein comes, uric acid is a side effect. Protein urea, if it is there, then kidney will go. So have a simple go morning sample one urine you give at least. Don't check the blood also. If urine doesn't show much protein urea, at least you are largely preserving your kidneys.
So, doctor, you mentioned about this protein urea. In your experience, those who are consuming protein through animal fat and those who are
animal protein,
those who are consuming, and those who are consuming protein through artificial means, that is powder, those who take protein powder, they have a rise or spike in uric acid compared to this. Say if it is the amount is same, I'm giving you an example, say the amount is same.
So if you take same amount of protein, whether from an animal natural source or a vegetable natural source or additional, if protein consumption is same, protein urea chances if kidneys are bad is same.
Okay, so then difference. Why does it happen so much for those who consume protein powder? They take excess?
Uncontrolled, yeah. There's no control. 2 scoop, 3 scoop. The more scoops are gone, more packets will be bought, more the economy of the company. Beyond that, nothing.
But is this protein powder safe for consumption, or is it like there are many theories that it is not actually good? How true is that, doctor?
This can be very controversial because some people whom I don't at all intend to hurt may get hurt, because those will be the industrialists. See, in India, people can make money out of selling wrong things. So even simple, the amount of pesticides and insecticides put on vegetables and fruits for selling, the person who puts it may not eat that thing, you will not buy it, but he is ready to sell it in his shop. Same story, to make fast buck, you will have a protein which is 600 rupees, 800 rupees, 1000 rupees. Which one will we pick?
Indians generally buy the cheapest.
It could be that they go for the costliest also, but that may not be following the standards. So unless there is an oversee of this very strictly, where you cannot bribe someone to see that you put a safe symbol, these are dangerous. Whenever, if you don't understand what you are eating, don't eat it. It's a very simple principle. So source, how it is and whatever. Hepatotoxicity, I think, I don't know the doctor, but there is someone in YouTube who, it's a gastroenterologist, who constantly fights against this menace of protein powder, because liver failures are extremely common taking this protein powder. I talked about kidney because I take it to the point that these things could be safe. But he reports it so commonly that livers are failing, because those are that gastroenterologists see these liver people, and because of this protein consumption, liver failure is happening. Why? It is all because the cleanliness needed to provide a good protein powder is less. How do we get biryanis for 300 rupees from a hotel? If you make for 20 people in your house, per person charge you will be at least 500 to 700 rupees, because to get the quality ingredients you need that. How is that the people are selling it for 100 also, 60 also, and then we are talking about the country's health.
So there is a mismatch here, you mean to say.
Yeah.
Doctor, tell me something. You mentioned that muscle is very important. But there are many people who are very muscular, but they die of heart attack. There are a lot of people who are of late, they've been seen having cardiac arrest in the gym. So what the doctor says, that from the perception, from optics, they look healthy. Optically they look healthy, but intrinsically they aren't. Is there a truth around that a person who looks muscularly, appealing, he looks quite muscular, but need not necessarily be healthy? Is it true?
Absolutely true.
Okay.
Absolutely true. So now, you would have heard of the marathon running, okay? Philippides, who ran the first marathon, they say 42 kilometers, and when we have one victory and he falls down and dies. The marathon story.
Okay.
He was a runner, and he was not even 42, 43 years of age. You understood? So, young guy, dying, runner, running beyond 5 kilometers, no medical benefit.
Okay.
You are killing your heart.
So
Okay.
all these marathon runners who are like trying to run 100 and
no health benefits.
okay.
So it's a curve, you have to understand that when we started, I told about this, that if you don't want injury, stop everything by 1 hour and divide your exercises into different things. Same thing, it's a curve. How much exercise is good? Too less, very bad. Too much, equally bad.
Okay.
The benefit where it plateaus out will not be same for everyone. So, post marathon, there have been so many studies already that when Boston Marathon happens, or these marathons where millions of people are running together, they check the blood of the people who have finished the 42, and they find heart attack enzymes to be increased. TROP-T test positive in many. It's a load on the heart. It's not that they are getting a heart attack, but it is a load on the heart, the CPK. And when this is done again and again, instead of softening of vessels, it becomes sclerosed, atherosclerosis. So even I see here, so people who are runners, 50 years of age, you take an ankle x-ray, the vessels are calcified. It's because they have been continuously overstressing them and troubling themselves. That's the reason.
Okay. And doctor, this marathon runners, do they have a high chance of knee injury also? Because I believe there is a particular way to run. They say you should run on your toes. Most often than not, they run on their heels. Does it have an impact on the knee?
Of course, running should always be going that the toe should be landing first, not the heel.
Okay.
80% of the people who run Indian level marathon and all, even if it is 10 kilometer, 80% or 90% are doing it in such a fashion to damage themselves. It is only out of passion that people are going there. Their rhythm, the rate, the muscles which are used are not done. Just because they have the endurance to do it, just they do it. So, who will stop someone unless and until it comes from inside them by knowledge? You understand?
So, in your experience, have you had cases of people who are marathon runners have come to you for knee surgery?
Every single year before major marathons and Ladakh runnings and all these things, at least 5 or 6 come to take a PRP shot or a injection of viscosupplementation inside the knee so that they don't increase their knee pain. Most of them run with some amount of pain.
And that's not good.
Good and bad. So too much bad. As I say, I am not a proponent for anyone going for a marathon unless you are going to make money out of it. But so many marathoners are there, they do it for nothing. Just because they have the time spent and they have the thing, and it's called runner's high. To get the runner's high, they just do it. So knee pain, ankle pain, all these things increase in marathon season. It is a part of it.
Okay.
Some people quit and go off. Some people who don't quit are largely young, but as you get older, these things become bad.
And what does weight have to do with the knee pain? How much does a body weight affect the knee?
Massive effect, in the sense 1:4 we call it as. Every kg of your weight, when you walk, that means if suppose somebody is to be 60 kilos and if he's 61 kg, when he walks, he is putting 4 kg more load on his knee, and when he is running, he is almost 6.5 to 7 kg more load on his knee. That one single. So we put it as like this: if you are 5 kgs above your body weight and everything else is okay, instead of your knee working till 75 and 80, you will be 5 years lesser knee work. Then 70 your knee will go. If you are 10 kg more, at 65 it will go. If you are 15 kg more, at 60 it will go. And if more than that, you can just imagine and calculate.
Okay, doctor. Besides this, does smoking and liquor also affect our joints?
Now, smoking, the answer is you can only smoke in 2026 if you are not aware that humans can die. Okay, because staying in India is a risk in itself. The air quality has become so bad and we are not bothered about it much because there is no other way. See, for example, we are living here, we love this place. The air quality is bad, it is as good as 15 cigarettes anyway.
Is
now
it
add to it
in a place
more.
like Bangalore, doctor?
Of course. We only thing is that we don't monitor, we don't follow, and we don't have time for all this. We know our time would be more on stock markets and maybe the politics or maybe real life dramas which come in TV. But the real effects on the water quality, air quality, muscular fitness, and are we doing enough for the next generation children to come up in a healthier way, and all becomes a back burner issues, isn't it? So air quality in Bangalore is as good as 10 cigarettes a day.
Oh my God.
Okay, and it is definitely reducing longevity and the health, allergy. Just look at the data on the anti-allergic that are sold today. Earlier, a cetirizine strip used to be 10 tablets. Today, if you go and ask for a cetirizine strip, 30 tablet strip is already manufactured by the company and given, because anyway this guy after 10 days has to come again. Okay. Why not buy a 1 month's this one?
Quota.
So allergy, but because we are not dying immediately, we don't give importance. Now smoking is a good way of destroying yourself. It's the best way. All disc, spine, joint, cartilage is having no blood supply. They heal by blood coming from nearby tissues when we move.
Okay.
And if movement is less, by software engineering, and because of the stress is high, after whenever you get movement, you go and smoke. You understood? You are a driver on Bangalore roads. Your spine is already, because what can be traveled for half an hour takes 1.5 hours. You are sitting constantly without moving. Where is the oxygen? And then you are smoking the additional smoke, and then the smoke of the city. Not just Bangalore is best, in fact. The best air quality in Indian cities is Bangalore. And the worst is in Delhi. But then the best is also not great.
Correct.
It's for a western status or island kind of places. This air quality is dangerous. We are in a dangerous zone. So add to it smoke, damage your all cartilage, and before you are 45, you look like something 60-year-old fellow.
Absolutely, doctor. Doctor, I have seen also youngsters, they say, I don't mind drinking and smoking, or even older people, because I go to gym, I am physically fit. Is that argument correct? That I go to the gym, my joints do not ache, they are fine, but I enjoy my smoke and I enjoy my drink and I'm doing fine. So there are many people who think like that. Is that correct?
So regarding smoking, absolutely wrong. Second is, as I told earlier, young people, they don't know that people die. Okay. So I quote from Mahabharata this one. Yudhishthir was asked once, what is the thing that makes you most surprised? He told this answer clear. I find that all around people are dying, but as a person, I don't live as if I will die. As if I am immortal, I am living. The young age, that is too costly thing. That is the time when you start preserving yourself, because the young has the responsibility of running the economy. But with society socio-economically progressing, that and all, country and all doesn't become important. Family also is hardly important. That's the age when you drink, nothing that happens next day. And do it for 10 more years, nothing happens. But at the 20th year, at the 25th year, and when it's 45, midlife crisis, 40, midlife crisis. Today the midlife crisis at 35 itself is started. It's because of this. 6 days or 5 days they will sit and work. Saturday and Sunday they take their car and go and full high energy, drinking, boozing, smoking and traveling. And Monday hardly any energy to come back to the office and work. And when this goes on for 10 year, 12 year, already 32 diseases are started.
Okay. No, but what about those who are, I'm saying my question was, what about those who are exercising? We are daily exercise. Okay.
Meaningless. Your exercise is an injury. It is a controlled injury for body to regenerate. You are injuring yourself so much that you add your injury to it. It's called putting a little more oil in the fire. It is better that they just keep walking only and don't do any gym exercises. You have a bad lifestyle and you exercise also and you are compromising on your sleep, then that will be deadly combination.
Is it that, doctor? But many people in their 50s live this life, doctor, and they say that I'm in my 50s or I'm in my late 40s. If so far I have managed good, I am able, I know, they think they know everything and they look healthy. But they are smoking, they are drinking, but they are exercising, but they look thin. Are they healthy, or are they following the right lifestyle?
No, that's the problem that comes when you are following one person. And for example, Warren Buffett, 95, drinks Coca-Cola and burger only. Healthy?
Not
but
healthy.
He is healthy. His brain is also healthy and is perfect. For example, if you call someone healthy, then he is. But he is a billionaire. Where are normal people's lifestyle and his lifestyle going to be? He can rest when he wants to rest. He can think right. And he eats small portion. He is not overeating like most people in our scenario situation. And there is a positive stimulus that comes every time they are successful. For example, we see politicians surviving very long. Trump's situation or any politician for that matter. There is a positive energy of life that comes when you have a power. If that is appropriately taken at 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, there is an additional benefit that comes that has not been scientifically studied per se, but they are not living only at a particular, the power and the strength builds them up also.
Being relevant.
Being relevant. Yeah, they are not becoming irrelevant. But most people who drink, smoke and all these things, they at certain levels are not rising as the relevance curve is rising. So that deterioration when it comes it's all down.
Understood.
And plus everyone, what we require finally is one or two episodes which is called anecdotal data. Anecdotal data should not be considered as a combination data. Combination data says no smoking, no drinking, moderation in eating, optimized sleeping and optimized exercises is the key to longevity. There is nothing else. How you live every single day matters. The earlier you start, the better for you. Doesn't mean don't have a wine or a drink occasionally. Smoke, definitely a no to be for the health. There is no data saying that smoke benefits. Nicotine to help a bit on the brain function, dementia reduction and all is known, but the side effects far are more than per se not recommended.
And what about coffee, doctor? I have seen those who quit smoking, they take coffee, and that too a lot of coffee because that gives them, it's supposed to be a kind of gives them a high. and they take that concentrated coffee concoction. So I've seen people replacing their cigarettes with coffee. Is that advisable?
Coffee, 2 cups or 3 cups a day, safe, works on brain nicely, but don't manipulate it too much. Beyond 3, very bad for bone health. It makes the bones very soft.
Okay.
So it's bad. So same story, moderation. Learn how much. So these are all stimulants. Caffeine is a stimulant. Coffee, 2 good American size coffee a day is okay without sugar. Now the problem can be coming is when you add a lot of sugar to it. That's the problem. And then you make it more than 2. It's a problem. Indian sized Nescafe, which is the traditional one, 2 a day without sugar, has no problem. It's like a normal drink that you are taking. But when it starts getting manipulated to bring in the caffeine out, then dangerous when it goes beyond 2.
Some study says that if you drink black coffee, it's good for fatty liver. Is it true, doctor?
All these are phytochemicals, no? So in moderation, tea, coffee and all these things are beneficial to human body. Especially tea and its components are beneficial. Coffee, again, lot of antioxidants are there. We shouldn't be overdoing these antioxidants. That's the only thing.
Mm-hmm. So the key thing is that everything is moderation is good.
Including exercises.
True, doctor. That was an eye-opener. Now, doctor, tell me, there are a lot of people these days suffering from back pain. That is one, you could attribute it to the traffic and road condition and the time they spend on the vehicle and sedentary lifestyle. Now, this sedentary lifestyle, not very many can do anything much about it because they have to work in front of the system for which they have to sit. They have increasing cases of back pain and cervical pain. What can be done about that? And even frozen shoulder.
Now, we'll take three different things. Back pain, commonest. Now, I am 50 and I am a surgeon and I have to stand, walk, and my daily routine, it's a hectic routine. At 50, I have started understanding that it is tough. 7 a.m., get up most days and go back home and reach home by 10.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is a lifestyle for last 15 years in Bangalore. But if I want to sustain it, the days when I will have a holiday, I rest a little more, I exercise a little more. That means I lie down a little more and I exercise a little more to keep these things. So I know which are the exercises for back pain. That I make it a part. If I am suffering from back pain predominantly, I should make those exercises a part of my daily routine, just like I brush and I take bath. So back pain today has been broken down exercises to such an extent that an Olympian comes with a back pain which is not neurological, can be treated without surgery, and a Sada person also, but it requires exercises.
Okay.
You understood? And there are exercises for that. The training programs go from McKinsey's to McGill. McGill's program is excellent. People should know about it. And every driver, every software engineer should be a master before he is 40 years of age. Otherwise, they will end up in back pain. Back pain is part of our standing erect. It is a part of our evolution. We will get back pain and that's why our mobility gets restricted. Now regarding neck pain, I think 150 times opening up that mobile will be one of the commonest reason. Laptop, which work from home. If somebody is allowing somebody to work from home, they should have a workstation at home, not laptop at home. They should be properly ergonomically sitting, look at the correct level screen, then half the neck pains will go away. And if you are in too much of traffic and you are not driving and you have a neck pain, put a collar and travel so that this constant jerk which comes with every brakings which are a slow thing do not trouble you much. Then we have to understand what is important. For me, working is very important. I have to see, working is very important. Without a work, I just can't get a sleep. So for me, work is very important. For that, I have to keep my body good. Same person, people are economically bound today. So they have to work. They have to understand the importance of the body there. If their body is not working, they can't earn.
Correct.
So, it's very simple logic. So if you want to be productive, you have to be healthy. In this unhealthy situations of food chain getting contaminated, air getting contaminated, water getting contaminated, we ourselves have a responsibility for ourselves, not just for ourselves, first for the family, then for the society around us, and then even for the country, because All our income taxes and all will go only if you are working, isn't it? If you are not working, where is the income generated?
True.
So once youngsters get this and they start taking care of their health seriously, how many people really react when pubs are opened? Bangalore is today called pub city. Everywhere you go and get a beer. Do you see people reacting? It is health on the youngsters, because there is a tax that goes to the government. Government is happy, but at what cost? You
Correct.
understood? So those things have to be thought about. So neck pain you don't want, back pain you don't want, shoulder pain you don't want. Shoulder pain, I told you, simple exercises, 7 minutes exercises you do lifelong, you will not get shoulder problem. But you
Okay.
should do those things.
Which are those 7 exercises, doctor? If
These
you
are
can.
trade secrets.
Okay, okay, fine.
So, no, basically I'll just give you a glimpse of it. It's not exercises. Understand supraspinatus muscle, infraspinatus, teres minor. There are only 3 external rotators given. All other muscles are internal rotators. These external rotators, if you strengthen in a sub-impingement level, medical terms, that's the reason I told trade secrets.
Okay.
Then you will not damage them. Whereas if you do them in impingement level, that means I showed you initially about the deltoid flies.
Yes.
These are best to kill the supraspinatus muscle. Keep doing wrong things, you get wrong results.
So which are the simple exercises, 1 or 2, which are good for frozen shoulder, which should be done daily, doctor?
Good for frozen shoulder, frozen shoulder is a metabolic syndrome. It's a disease where your muscles have reduced to such an extent, it's called sarcopenia, that your body is reacting by preventing the muscle from tearing off.
Okay.
So, partial shoulder muscle tears are very common. Partial tears, before they fully tear off. This comes only in a person whose muscle is bad. Will a healthy person partially tear his muscle? No. His health is reducing. So it's called sarcopenia. Frozen shoulder means anything frozen doesn't have mobility. No, shoulder has this much mobility, every direction. When you are not able to move in all direction freely, you are called frozen shoulder. Every shoulder problem is not a frozen shoulder. So the frozen shoulder is a defined condition. Means all your shoulder movements are restricted to certain extent. So that is a metabolic condition. It means you may have thyroid problem, diabetes, low vitamin D, low vitamin B12, you may be obese, your heart health may not be good. Then only you can get a frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder case should get diagnosed. Why is the frozen? Is it primary or secondary? Primary means you have other reasons to cause it. Secondary means is a shoulder partial tear, body is trying to react. Treatment is 6 months may every frozen shoulder will become normal if treated properly. Less than 10% require surgical intervention. 90% of them just become better by exercise programs. If diabetes, thyroid and vitamin levels and muscle strength is maintained. 6 months, you will be normal.
And doctor, for spine, they say that whenever you have a back pain, the best form of rest is that you have to be horizontal and you should not be sitting for long. Is that true, doctor?
Yes. The intradiscal pressure. Spine is one vertebra, then a disc, then a vertebra and disc. The intradiscal pressure is maximum when we are sitting. So now you see, when I am sitting, I have taken myself as back as possible. I am not doing this.
Yes.
You understood? So I have taken myself back so that my lordosis is maintained well. In sitting posture, the posture is to be adopted. Wrong posture you shouldn't. So disc pressure is maximum when somebody is sitting, and without mobility, disc doesn't get oxygen. Okay. So if you sit continuously for an hour, you are in fact depriving it from its food.
Okay.
You understood? So when somebody ends up in back pain, acute, sudden pain, 3 days is what we recommend. Ask them to go and lie down or get up and walk.
Okay.
Lying down, best is straight with knee a little bent, put a pillow behind your so that the back gets numb, or side lying with the knee bent. Okay. This will, in 3 days, most of the back pains will go away. Then you have to train yourself from back pain prevention.
So this deadlifts, is it good for the back or is it bad?
Deadlift is a fad, and deadlift is very good muscle exercises for your gluteal muscles and your paraspinal muscles and all. Wrongly done, which is 95%. 95% people teach it wrong, learn it wrong, and finally end up in destroying their back, not benefited. But if done correctly, deadlift is a beautiful exercise.
And what about ab exercise? Does abs
You are talking about sit-ups.
Yes, crunches. Is it good
Crunches
or
has been
bad?
taken out of the medical exercise list 20 years back, but people continue to do it. That is bad.
Okay, so we should avoid
Of course,
doing.
L4, L5 will go if you keep doing that thing. The whole crunch. The neck also will go because they keep it neck here and break the neck and do this and destroy the back also. So the young kids, what they are doing, try it at 40 for 1 year, the guaranteed disc is done.
Okay. And for cervical health, doctor, are shrugs good?
Shrugging like this.
Yes, with weights.
This is a trapezius muscle which gets the shrugging helps on that. We don't exercise those muscles because they are per se strong muscles. Now shrugging causes a definite damage onto our supraspinatus muscles. So if you are keeping on doing it, then it can be wrong. A few shrugs with few kg weights and all this thing is good. There is no harm because that is a sub impingement. It's at 0 degree. Arm is not. Arm, once it goes between 60 and 120 exercises, those are the ones which can be dangerous. The shrug which you are doing, unless you are really making it a postural problem, it is not dangerous.
Okay. So, doctor, if I submit our entire talk, one is that, as you said, never overdo exercise. The exercise should be 5 kilometers of running, not more. Anything more than that is does more harm than good, if at all.
No additional benefit.
No additional benefit. You must 30 minutes of strength training. In every hour, 5 minutes of walking. And food, no smoke, no alcohol in moderation. Smoking, a big no-no.
From my viewpoint, no alcohol if you can, but if you feel a little better with 1 or 2 occasionally, that's what only I told. Otherwise, alcohol also is a no-no only.
Yes, and for those who have never exercised, if at all they have to start, please consult. You said 3 experts. Can you just...
Not 3 experts, 1 expert.
One expert.
And get your 1 RM done, your mobility analyzed, and make a plan for how you should start and what should be the rate of increase. So many people are very enthusiastic, fast in, fast out.
Okay.
So enthusiasm for exercises should be so that you exercise throughout your remaining life. When you started, from till death, you should be able to exercise.
Okay. And those who consume protein powder, be mindful, check what are the things which are going into it, than blindly consuming it, because it can do more harm than good. And ideally the animal protein is a better source than powder protein, but those who don't consume animal protein powder of course is the only source, but then they should go through the labels and then consume it wisely.
Vegetarian protein sources are very good sources.
But it's not enough, no, doctor?
They can take in a little higher quantities and all these things. I think in Sports Authority of India, in the Indian hockey, not single player is given additional protein powder. I don't know why general people take it. Because the protein can be consumed. Vegetarian protein is good.
Okay.
Now B12 is the only problem in vegetarians, and that B12, some injections once in 3 months should be good. So vegetarian protein in adequate amount, nobody should stop that. Vegetarianism, the problem would be lot of carbohydrate intake should be restricted and protein should be increased.
Okay.
Peanuts and cashew nuts, all forms of nuts, seeds, spirulina, and so many things from tofu, and so many things are available today.
Okay, so they should concentrate on that kind of food.
Everything natural is better, unless you want to do a bodybuilding where you are hypertrophy training, then check your kidneys, liver frequently.
Okay. And last, doctor, you mentioned, this is my last question to you, doctor, because we are curious to know. You said you are 50 years old and most of the time you work from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And then when do you exercise? Since you are telling us to exercise daily, when do you incorporate exercise in your schedule? Because most people these days, professionals, have this kind of schedule.
Yeah. So that is the advantage that I have. Particularly as a doctor is, so for example, I operate on 3 days and I have OPDs on 3 days, and anytime if a surgery gets cancelled, instead of feeling unhappy, I use that time and go for exercise. Okay. Now if I reach home by 8:30, I don't go and eat my food immediately. I just drink 1, 2 or 3 glasses of water, go to my gym, do my exercises for half an hour and come back and eat my food. So I use any time, I am flexible on that, any time. And till 15 years, I have not taken the lift in Apollo once. I have always gone up and down on the stairs, kept my walking going on. I work at Banagata Apollo, Jayanagar Apollo. So there is a mobility that is happening. I also walk. I park my car far away and I walk down here. And then I am a surgeon. I am standing. I am operating. I am talking to people. I love the interaction with patients. So if you ask me which you love more, exercise or interacting with patients, I like interacting with patients and doing the surgeries far more. So that's the reason the work doesn't look like work. So I enjoy my work here. And then when I go for exercise, I am hearing podcasts or something which makes whatever mistakes, when I interact with patients, if I am, I sometimes hurt them by telling truth. How to tell the truth truthfully without hurting has to also be learned. So there is always a learning process in our thing. And that's the reason, if you are not working, then why should you feel tired? I am not working. I just I love this job.
You're passionate about it. That was very nice that despite your hectic schedule, whatever time you are getting, you are able to make use of it. So those who have very hectic schedule, your advice would be start taking stairs instead of lift. Start moving around, avoid sitting, and that would be enough. Park in a little away from your destination so that you can walk. These are the simple things they can incorporate to
there are
be
days
active.
Holidays,
yes,
please use that.
Time.
Walk and do. My average exercise in every week, I calculate and I see that it has never gone below 3 hours in a week.
Okay, great.
3 to 4 hours, the minimum it has been
despite
there
your
for
schedule.
15 years. Overall, my exercise time. It can be as less as 15 minutes. So means if I have a full day fully packed, I may get up at 6 o'clock and once I am ready, I'll just go for a 1 to 2 kilometers of run and a little bit of stretches and come back. It's 15 minutes, but that is a good timing.
True, doctor.
So use the time daily. So how much ever busy maybe you can't take care of your body means your body will not take care of you. Simple and straight.
Thank you, doctor. It was wonderful talking with you. In this note, I would want to wind up, and I'm sure with this conversation is very enriching for anyone who's listening. And if they take values from here, they would actually improve not just their life but overall mental health as well. Because a healthy body is a healthy mind. Thank you, doctor, for this conversation.